Well, good morning. It's just another day of staying clean and sober. I worked out, shower, did my some schoolwork, and just kind of hoping to just give you guys some more info about me, so that maybe I can get lucky and people will like my story and continue to I guess, what do? You subscribe or you like or whatever. But anyways, back to back to what I was saying. Um, Today I was just sitting there kind of thinking and venting to myself, but about a lot of things. Sitting here, I was like, I don't know why I even waste my time sharing my story with you guys, because I know that I'm not famous or maybe be the cutest thing you see on here. And I probably won't get far on this, but it's okay. I understand, because, you don't know me from Jack Dilly. Just, it's another video on YouTube sharing, their story. But anyhow, and I was like, you know what? I don't care. Screw them. If you don't like my stuff, you don't have to like it. But if you like it, that's great. Just push like, I guess, right? But I'm even going to try maybe doing some live and take questions and try to answer the best I can. But, I just want to let you guys know, like, that, it is possible. Anything's possible, right? I mean, we just got to keep being, like, positive, or not always positive, but just keep moving. And, have you ever heard that phrase or saying says that fake it till you make it? I don't think you should probably fake it till you make it. Oh, sorry. You see this? Just innocent. I bent my lip. So, and it hurts. But anyhow, I don't do the fake till you make it. I just keep it real. And I don't try to bullshit. I don't edit my stuff. I don't filter nothing, because I just don't feel like it's going to get me anywhere to do any of that. I used to do a lot of filtering for TikTok, but I don't do that no more. And I just care less, really, about editing and filtering. I'm not really good at any of all that stuff, so you just getting the raw me. But anyways, I just kind of thought maybe I'd show you, like, look, we got tons of style. See, I live in Fargo, so, with my son and his girlfriend, Casey. They're excellent. I'm so proud of them. They both got promotions in their jobs. I mean, they're really doing freaking good. I cannot believe how well them two are doing. My son and his old lady, Caitlin and Stephen, they're doing excellent. They're raising my two grandsons. You'll probably hear me all the time talk about Wesley and Wyatt, because they're my grandsons. And they're 3 and 2. They are what they call Irish twins. And I think that is so cool, because they are just so freaking adorable. But anyways, I was talking to him. Cam was having a little video chat. And I was showing Wesley, because he wanted to talk to his mama. And he was like, Mama, what you doing? And I said, I'm eating. And he said, ice cream? Well, he thinks of me as the ice cream grandma, because, like, when I was living in Des Moines and he was coming over to see me, I would get to babysit them when I was clean, you know what I mean? And, anyways, I would always, I always have ice cream. And I told him, no, salad. He was like, oh, okay. Like, that wasn't good, but he knew. I'm trying to eat better. And he helps me. When I was, and when I got out of the hospital, I have a video, and I might have to share that with you guys sometimes. He helped me walk with my walker. And he's just such he and Wyatt remind me of my sons when they were little. And it just brings tears to my eyes because I think they are just the cutest things, and they look just like my babies, when they were little. So I always tell my kids that. But anyways, and then Katerina and her husband Dustin, they do excellent too. They don't have babies, and neither does Eric and Casey. But I'm really trying to push the grandbabies because I love them so much. I mean, I love them. I think they're the coolest thing ever. And so this is why, not a lot of it, I do all this, the sober stuff. So for me, not for no one else. I used to always think I was doing it for my family or people I cared about. No, it never worked that way. But this time, because I'm doing it for me and for my health, I'm really proud of myself because I enjoy it more, if that makes sense. And let me tell you guys something about my addiction. Like, I had to get high every day, all day, nonstop. And I would stay up for days. Unlike a lot of the other people that I would get high with, they would hear voices, pick on their skins, and this and that, losing teeth, and skin problems, and even being homeless and all that. I still would try to maintain a really, you wouldn't think I belong or I was homeless. And only time you would, is when I was really high, because my body wouldn't be able to do a lot. And so, like, when people would, and it's sad to say this, but people shoot a lot of dope up, and they was like, and they would go have sex with whoever, whatever, whenever. And I always kind of thought that was fucking stupid because I'm getting high just to numb my pain. So if I even did 20 units, and this is crazy, it would almost, to a point, it would almost knock me out and paralyze my body. And this is just meth. It wasn't no trank. It ain't no fentanyl. Ain't no heroin. Ain't no coke. I only shot up meth. Nothing else. And I always checked my drug. You're not supposed to have fentanyl strips, but I would have fentanyl strips because I just didn't want to, I was playing Russian roulette, but I just didn't want to get anything cut with fentanyl. You know what I mean? Just because I knew that my body couldn't take such big shots, and I just didn't want to overdose because I had a lot of my friends, like, oh man, or even then for that matter, this really bothers me, but it's okay. People have fentanyl, and it was just like fucking killing them, and it was this kind of scary situation. But anyways, I always try to take good care of myself, or somewhat. My dad was a biker, had lived that rough life. He was he was a recurring heroin addict from back in the 60s. He drank a lot. My mom was a quiet Christian woman, never smoked a cigarette, never did drugs, never smoked, none of that stuff. She grew up with a nanny and maids, and she lived a really good life compared to how I grew up. Now, my parents loved me, and don't get me wrong, they tried their very best. I have also, 5 brothers, and I'm, the only girl, quote. I do have a half-sister, but she's gay, but I love her. I love Maggie. She's great. But anyways, I just mainly grew up with my brothers, you know what I mean? And my mom and my dad. So, my life, I guess I was around that drug scene life. And plus, my dad was a drinker, and he drank, he was a violent person. He never hit my mother, he never hit his kids. And so, in his biker life, that's a totally different, separate life than our life. And back in those days, it was kind of just a different kind of biker life, if you want to know. Like, it just, he kept that so separate. But eventually he left, the club that he was in, you know, just having, he needed to, remove himself from that situation. And then he went on to, getting clean and sober and even get a degree in psychology. And, but his health was so bad from all the drugs and drinking that he literally had to live on disability. But he still just maintained to go to school and do really, good for himself in educational ways to help us, do good in school. And I did okay in school. I was never smart. And a lot of people, they, this, I, especially when I lived in this little town in Elston, Iowa, and my school was like 26 miles from my house. I'm in Mount Ayr, Iowa, but anyways, and the kids in me, I just can never, really understand them, because I wasn't really a country kind of girl anyhow, because I grew up in Massachusetts mainly, and then came to Iowa, back and forth, but because my dad liked Massachusetts, but we had family here in Iowa, so, and we was just back and forth between those two states, but, and Massachusetts was a pretty busy city, but I loved the East Coast, so the kids in Iowa made fun of my accent that I had, so I had to go to speech therapy, and so I really didn't have a good experience in my grade year, my elementary years, and then we moved to Des Moines, Iowa, and because I really wanted to, be around people that understood me, and so my parents thought it was a good idea, since all my brothers had, except for my brother James, my other brothers were all grown in college and moved on with their lives. So did Maggie, because she's as old as they are. Me and James were the youngest. And so, anyways, we had, moved to, Des Moines. And then I met my friends that I hung out with. And I just felt really more like, I felt this I felt like I was in around people that understood me, and a lot of my friends had dads that were bikers as well, and so they understood that lifestyle, and just how it was, but I even then, when I would hang out with my friends, and so back in the 80s and early 90s, but if you would go downtown in Des Moines, so it would be on the loop, everybody would go on the loop. And it's kind of funny, because all these roughnecks always wore Harley hats and Harley Davidson t-shirts and blue jeans and moccasin boots and leather coats and yada yada. And then you had the preppies and all this and that, right? It was up the street farther up. So, of course, I would hang out with the ones with the Harley stuff and everything, right? But even then, I couldn't wear none of that stuff. So I always wore Guess. And so my friends would always give me shit. And they was like, Robin, you know what? We love you. But you wear more preppy clothes. And I was just like, well, that's so totally unfair. But they still embraced me. And I love them all to this day. A lot of them have passed, but a lot of them are still very much alive and doing really good in their lives. And I just can't believe how well some of them are doing. They really have switched their whole lives around. So, that gives me some inspiration too, because I'm looking at them like, wow, I can't believe that they're doing so good, And they are. And, they even have big families, some of them, like my friend Tony and Jamie, them guys have some big families, but anyhow, I'm not trying to throw some names out there or nothing, I'm so sorry, but, they all have good lives, and, a lot of them do, I shouldn't say all of them, but anyhow, so, we moved to Des Moines and everything with my life, and then, My mom worked 2 jobs. She worked really hard so she could give me and my brother James a good life at the best of her ability to. And so, we struggled some days, but my dad would help out as much as he can. And then that's when I met my kids' dad and everything. After he left us, when I started to do the drugs, he was sleeping with one of my friends, and they continued on with their relationship for a couple of years, I guess, and had quite a few children. If I remember, I don't know. I don't talk about that situation with him. I barely even talk to him. I was kind of even mad when I was in the hospital because I was like, dang, I'm the mother of your kids, and you don't even like send some flowers or be like, hey, I hope you get better. Our children need you. Yada yada. Hey, nah, he didn't give a shit. So thanks, Steve. No, big Steve. Anyways, but anyhow, just I'm sorry if I'm rambling on and continue on saying crazy things, but I'm just trying to give you guys a little rundown about my life. But like I said, I think I'm going to probably do some kind of a live, talk with you guys. And if you have questions for me, go ahead and ask. I do not sugarcoat nothing, and I will never sugarcoat nothing. I always want to give people the best advice ever. If I can give the best advice, I don't want nobody to go through what I've been through. It is like so scary to think like in your own mind that nobody gives a shit. And I know me, I care. I just don't maybe have the best answers for everybody or anybody for that matter. But every little bit helps, right? That's how it should be. Like, that we should be helping one another and trying to get sober and clean. I watch all like these little short reels and videos, and I am such a huge person of learning about other people's addictions and their mission in life. Like, it's so sad. Like, that is just not even. That's really sad to see people suffer. I mean, because like I know, as an addict, for me, I suffered a lot, and no one was there. I mean, like right now, even though I'm doing really good, I have some problems I deal with. Like right now, finding a job, or even like my son, like he might be doing good in life, but like he can't go out and be buying my clothes. I don't have resources, and then the resources I do have, that I'm trying like fighting for housings and stuff. There's nobody that'll even rent me. I don't have no money, nothing. And it's sometimes no job. I mean, I've even applied for jobs, and just because I have very lack of experience on jobs, or what jobs I've had in the past, I did only have kept them for a month. I even filed for some disabilities because of my health, and I try to be really positive about it and think, well, I will get it because my health is deteriorating. I'm hoping they see that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm also a realistic person, and I probably don't have all the criteria that I'll meet to get disability, but we'll see about that, you know what I mean? And like I said, I've signed up for housing, but just nothing, nothing. And I'm not getting paid on YouTube for doing these videos. I hear people getting paid for them. But then I'm looking at it like you have to pay them to even start something, And so, that's like, it's pretty irritating to know that I'm going to be struggling for a long time because my son can't always take care of me. Like, I need to be in a place by March because him and his girlfriend will be going to Japan for her internship. And this is like something in my mind that I stress a lot. Like, so I'm trying. I really am trying. And I want to keep going. And I'm going to keep going, even if it doesn't. Maybe if I don't find something in March, I've been homeless. So to be back on the streets is scary, but I know I can survive it. I just gotta, take a deep breath in and breathe out and tell myself I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm not going to fail, But I just want everybody to know that this is real shit. This is not cut. This is not edited. I'm not fabricating up some story for anyone to feel sorry for me. I'm just saying this stuff is so real and it's hard. It's hard. And especially when I'm doing it by myself. My son, he's here for me, yes. My other kids are there for me. They are. But a lot of it has to come back on me. I need to get up, do these things, just like working out today. I didn't want to work out, but I'm proud of myself because I worked out. I work out every other day. If I can't do it every day, I'm trying to do it every day because it's something new for me. Because I've never had to work out to lose weight because, well, the weight stayed off because of the drugs, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's a lot. It takes a lot for me. I'm just even to get up to take a shower some days. I feel like, that's some crazy shit. Like, are you fucking for real? I gotta get up, take a shower, or, brush my hair, or go to my classes. And, I don't have college education, so I'm going for GED because I never finished school. So I'm having to start from the get-go. And because of my learning disability, my age, I was crying the other day because I was like in tears because I was like, I'm not going to pass my GED test. But I'm trying. So I'm going over and over, and I keep doing these, these classes to improve my reading, my math, my social studies, my science. I guess so, what I've noticed is when I'm doing these tests to see where I'm at, I'm still at the same area. Like, I get half of it right and the other half wrong, and it's been that way. It's a consistency, and I don't understand why I'm not getting farther. And I ask people for help, like, where do I go to maybe get like some learning educate? Where do I go to see if I have a disability in my learning ways? But when I reach out to the states and to the state or to social services and stuff like that, they don't have answers for me, and it's sad because I don't know what to do. Just like mental health, I don't know where to go. Isn't that crazy? So I rely on a doctor to keep me, she gives me my pills and stuff. Maybe I need something else for my mental health and for mental health, but I don't know. I maybe should ask her about how do you find out about learning disabilities. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. And so, like I said, you guys, if you want to follow me on my journey, that's great. I would love to have as many people help follow me. Maybe give me some advice. That's wonderful. But if you're just gonna be nasty and not be helpful, I don't have time for that because I've had that already in my life. Like, I have had a lot of people run me down, say cruel things to me, but in person. So I don't need more people to just send me comments that are going to be rude. And I haven't had none because I barely don't even have anybody to like my stuff. So, but I'm hoping that today you guys see this and you'll be like, hey, you know, maybe this is some interesting stuff, because I'm not trying to make a show or try to promote anything or try to make any money, because that's not going to happen. It's just, you know, I know this already. Not for me, because I don't have the money to spend to make the money to make, right? So it's okay. But anyways, I'm going to get off here. I'm starting to ramble and not making no sense. But I'll make some short reels too, because I think that's always something good for you guys to have. So have a great day. And like my stuff if you want to. Bye.